Brock, we've seen the Huskies lose games before, but it just seems as if this week, this Saturday loss in Arizona seems to have set people off in kind of a different way. It's opened up the door to a lot of questions about Steve Sarkisian and the program that, frankly, I was surprised to hear people bring up.
I don't think you should be when you're in year 4. When you're in year 4, the expectation is against those middle-of-the-road teams, which is where Arizona is, that you can hopefully, with Rich Rod in year 1 of his program, be ahead of where he's at. And on top of that, to be 52-17, and all eyes were on you. You made that point yesterday. This was a weekend where the Seahawks didn't play with the Thursday night game. All the attention was on them. The expectations, though, aren't Rose Bowl this season, I think, for even the most realistic Husky fan, but it was not to be 52-17 at Arizona. And what it does now is put a lot of pressure, I think, on Steve and that program. Oregon State's undefeated coming in, followed by Cal. What you can't do is take a significant step back.
And I don't know that they have taken a significant step back.
Not at this point.
I essentially see them as where they've been for the last few years under Sark, which is a mid-level Pac-12 team. And Brock, we talked to Bob Rondo today. He gave you the stats since, 1992, when Billy Joe lost to Arizona. The two programs have exactly the same record. They are both exactly 500 since that day. And that's kind of what I see. That's 20 years you're talking about. Over the last 20 years, this has been a 500 program. So if they are a program that right now can go out and beat a couple of teams that are, mid-level and lose to some of the mid-level teams as well, beat the bad teams, lose to the good teams, that's sort of what they've been. To have an expectation beyond that right now, to me, doesn't make any sense for the Huskies.
You're the 12th biggest market. You have one of the marquee stadiums that's being rebuilt in college football. You're paying your coach over $2 million. You have an AD that came from LSU that has national title expectations.
But isn't everyone doing that? I mean,
No.
you're going against LA schools. You're going against an Oregon school that doesn't have the media market but certainly has the money. You're talking about Rich Rod, who's making real money. Jim Moore's making real money. Lane Kiffin's making real money. Almost all the coaches in your conference are making real money. So I'm not sure those are huge advantages that you have over anybody.
The commitment is still here. I think the fan base, I think the attendance, I think the stadium, I think most importantly your AD, I think the television deal. I think the expectations won't change here, whether they're realistic or not right now for being a national title contender and a Rose Bowl contender. Well, it's proving right now on the field those aren't realistic goals. They're not taking that next step. But what you can't do is take the step backwards, which I think is what a lot of Huskies felt last Saturday in the desert was.